So I'm spending some time with my family in the Pacific Northwest, and one of the activities that we had planned was a river float and eagle watching tour. Now, I'm not a wildlife photographer. The biggest lens I own is the 70-200 f2.8 IS. Absolutely fantastic lens. I own this because it is just about the best lens you can use for your wedding photography work when you need a little bit more reach, but that f2.8 and the IS really helps out in low light situations. Now, but you know, that's not quite 200 millimeters on a full frame camera. Really is not close enough for wildlife photography, especially eagles, which are a little shy and up in the trees. So I rented from my friends at Lumoid the 2X extender. Now, I've rented this guy before for a couple of reasons. Let me tell you what it is first. It is basically a 2x magnification that fits between the body and the lens of whatever you're using, with a catch. It does not work with all lenses. Now, I remember when I first got my first 70-300 lens, and I looked at the price of this thing, about $400, and I had stars in my eye. I was like, man, I can put this on a crop sensor camera. You have the 1.6 times a focal length multiplier. You have, not really a multiplier, crop factor. You have the 300, and then you put a 2X on that and shoot the moon. You could see the lunar landing location. Not really, but that's what I was excited about. But this lens, this adapter really only works on just a few lenses. I'll put the link to the list that it works on down below. But basically, none of the lower end stuff. It's got to be L glass, and it does work on some third-party lenses. I should check on that before I say it for sure. But basically, you have to have a really expensive lens for this to be useful. But it can be quite useful with some additional catches. Now, so I throw this on, and my 70-200 suddenly becomes a 140-400, and 400 is pretty decent zoom. It still doesn't feel quite enough, and I was hoping I'd have some cool eagle shots to show you. We saw 3 eagles on the trip. They were really far away. The salmon run this year was really bad, so you know, didn't get many of those pictures, but I'll have some other sample shots.
Hold up. I actually realized that one of the most dramatic examples of how much zoom you can get was right here in this video. So I'm shooting this video at about 35 millimeters with the 5D Mark III and the 24-70 lens. A little bit after filming this video, I threw the 70-200 on with the 2X extender and zoomed out to 400 millimeters. Now you can just barely make out this mountain in the distance, Mount Shushkin, I think is how you say it. And it's got this awesome glacier just coming down between these giant ridges. Beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. I took a few photographs with the 70-200 out at 400 millimeters, and here's one of them. This isn't cropped at all, so you can really see the significant amount of zoom you get. 400 millimeters is starting to get you into the high zoom range. Still not quite as enough for really exciting wildlife, unless you're pretty close, as you can see in some examples coming up. Back to the video.
Give you an idea of how much more reach it gives you. The other caveat is it does cut your f-stop in half. So your 70-200 f2.8 lens becomes a 140-400 f5.6. And you think, well, that's a pretty hefty hit. Well, yeah, it is. But I wouldn't use this for a wedding. I should be able to get close enough. The guests or the groom and bride and groom shouldn't be that shy that they're running away from a 200 millimeter lens. You know, it does in good light give you still plenty of room to work with, and that is quite nice. You do have to keep in mind your focal length, shutter speed rules, even with that IS running, and be a little bit more careful. So you do that. Quality hit, not much of one. The glass in this guy is great. There is glass in it. There are elements in it. And it is a very good lens or adapter or extender. I think you should call it an extender. So just a mini review. I'll throw up a couple of images that I've gotten with this on this trip. And again, you know, something I probably don't want to buy just because I don't use it quite often enough. But I love the fact that it's really small. I can throw it in my bag, and it makes my 70-200 suddenly a 400 millimeter capable lens, even with those catches. Now, as I said, I probably wouldn't buy this, but I do like to rent it from time to time. It's pretty cheap to rent. Again, I rented mine from Lumoid. Link to their stuff right down below. And have it on this trip, and when I'm done, I'll send it back. And maybe in another year, I'll take another trip where this will be useful, and I'll rent it again, much more, you know, financially practical way to have some stuff that you don't always need. So thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you.